Channel 1, Channel 2, 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 Channel 1, Channel 2.
Star City News. Last night, the Lincoln City Council met for over 2 hours to discuss a potential safe gun storage ordinance.
Rashawn Jones has been arrested for the 4th time since September 9th.
Investigators arrested Jones for first-degree assault and use of a weapon to commit a felony.
The Huskers had yet another devastating loss on the road Saturday against Michigan.
It just makes you want to throw up.
But are keeping their heads high for their upcoming home game against Purdue.
These stories and more right now on Star City News.
Good evening and welcome to Star City News. I'm Alec Chisholm.
And I'm Aaron Hunter.
At last night's Lincoln City Council meeting, gun safety and storage was the hot topic. Residents and officials discussed the issue for nearly 2 hours during the meeting. Star City News' Matt Jensen covered the story and is standing by live in the newsroom. Matt?
Thanks, Alec. Last night, dozens of Lincoln citizens voiced their opinion about the possibility of a new safe gun control law. Two supporters of the law shared their testimony about a grandson they lost to a firearm accident.
While there, Matthew found a loaded handgun on a nightstand in the bedroom where they were to spend the night. Being a nearly 3-year-old boy, he picked it up and looked at it. Matt didn't see his 3rd birthday the next day.
Matthew's death was a preventable tragedy that shouldn't have happened. Had that gun been stored safely, Matthew would be alive today.
According to Amanda Gailey, president of the Nebraskans Against Gun Violence, the new ordinance would require this.
A safe storage ordinance is one that requires firearm owners to keep their guns locked up in such a way that unauthorized users cannot access them when they're outside of the owner's direct control.
Though there was quite a bit of support for a safe gun storage law, there were some who were just not for it, citing things like too much government control.
Government intrusion into our private homes with the kind of proposal we have before us today is the very kind of thing the founders intended to restrain.
One Lincoln man who is against this offered another option other than a new city ordinance.
I propose that instead of a gun storage ordinance, pass a resolution that recommends that young people receive appropriate education about the safety aspects and ethical and legal use of firearms. A resolution, not an ordinance.
This is an issue many people here in Lincoln are passionate about and have voiced their concerns. Now all that is left to do is wait and see if the City Council will actually move on this. As of now, no comment.
Well, Nebraska's first all-female honor flight landed back in Omaha last night after spending the day touring the landmarks dedicated to their service. The group of over 135 women were greeted with an outpouring of respect and appreciation at Eppley Airfield as they took an early morning flight to D.C. They had a jam-packed day visiting Arlington National Cemetery, the 9/11 Memorial at the Pentagon, the Iwo Jima Memorial, as well as the Women's Memorial as they reflected on their time in the service. The women say they are blessed to be included in such a special event. Every woman on board served in wars dating back to World War II all the way to Iraq and Afghanistan. Everyone on the trip was female, including the volunteers, journalists, and even the flight crew.
It's been great. There's 8 of us here out of the 11 that we served with, and so we've been able to reminisce a little bit, talk about some of the things that we've gone through and experienced and what we remember. And so this has been a great honor.
They were safely welcomed back to the South Terminal around 8:35 p.m. where thousands of family and friends awaited their arrival.
Lincoln police say they arrested the man they believe shot and critically wounded Devonis Wilkinson. Rashawn Jones faces charges of first-degree assault and use of a weapon to commit a felony. Star City's Jessica Chamberlain has more.
On September 9th, Devonis Wilkinson sustained a gunshot wound to the head, but investigators found her to still be breathing.
After completing interviews, conducting a neighborhood canvass, and extensively processing the immediate and peripheral crime scenes, LPD investigators developed probable cause to believe that Jones had shot Devonis during an argument.
Jones has been arrested for first-degree assault and use of a weapon to commit a felony. Jones and Wilkinson share 5 children together. For Star City News, I'm Jessica Chamberlain, reporting.
This is the 4th time that Jones has been arrested since the incident occurred September 9th. Wilkinson is expected to survive her injuries, but with significant functional disability.
Well, today began with wet, chilly weather. Let's go to Abby Stonehawker with the first look at the weather. Abby, will we see more weather in the future?
Well, guys, after our morning showers, we had temps in the low 60s, and the sun was really trying to peek through those clouds, but it didn't quite make it. Don't get your hopes up on the warmer weather. The cool temps might be here to stay. Stay tuned because there's much more to come later in the show.
The Keystone XL pipeline will start construction in 2019 after years of delay. TransCanada says it's closer than ever to getting this project up and running. Star City's reporter Jessica Chamberlain has more.
I'm pleased to announce the official approval of the presidential permit for the Keystone XL pipeline.
President Donald Trump approved the project in March of last year, reversing former President Barack Obama's decision to reject it. This project has been met with its fair share of supporters.
The Keystone XL pipeline will create jobs all the way through this country, and it'll help everyone.
But groups like Bold, Nebraska strongly oppose its building.
KXL puts America last, not to mention the fact that over half of the products carried by KXL are likely to be exported.
Opposing groups argue that the KXL pipeline won't bring in as many jobs as they insist, but supporters feel it will be great for the economy.
Everybody benefits. It's economic development. There is no losers.
A supplemental report reviewing the pipeline route issued Friday awaits public comment before being finalized.
This is Nebraska families fighting with everything they have in order to make sure that our land and water is protected.
Any member of the public is encouraged to submit comments by October 8th. A final hearing will be held on October 9th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Cornhusker Hotel here in Lincoln. For Star City News, I'm Jessica Chamberlain reporting.
Still to come on Star City News.
We'll look back at the success Husker volleyball experienced this weekend as they remain undefeated in conference play.
But first, we'll tell you about one of Nebraska's biggest blood drives going on this week at UNL.
All that and more coming up on Star City News.
Live from the Anderson Hall Broadcast Studios in the College of Journalism and Mass Communications at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is Star City News.
There's lots to see and do at the University of Nebraska State Museum. Be sure to visit our new temporary exhibit, The Museum Builders, which explores the history that led to the building of the University of Nebraska State Museum. Accompanying this is also an escape room, which features the history of fossil collecting in Nebraska. For more info, visit museum.unl.edu.
Since 1990, the Mary Ritma Ross Media Arts Center has served the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with independent film from across the country. With live theater broadcasts, Q&A sessions, and local film festivals, the Ross offers exclusive events year-round. So drop in, grab some popcorn, and watch some of the finest comedies, documentaries, or thrillers. For any movie genre you prefer, the Ross has got it covered.
At the Nebraska History Museum, there's over 12,000 years of history under one roof. Learn about Nebraska before it came a state, what it was like to live in Nebraska during the early years of statehood, and even see unique artifacts only on display at the Nebraska History Museum. The Nebraska History Museum is open until 5:30 Monday through Saturday and is free for everyone. With ever-rotating exhibits, you'll never run out of history to learn. Visit the Nebraska History Museum at 131 Centennial Mall in Lincoln, Nebraska today.
As part of their Simple Living campaign, Sustain UNL wants to teach you to make your own compost for gardening. Making your own compost is as simple as throwing uneaten fruit, vegetables, bread, and eggshells in a pile and letting nature do the rest. Try turning your pile once a week to aerate it and add it to your garden before planting for the best effect. To learn more about living simply, visit Sustain UNL's Facebook page. Sustain UNL, creating a sustainable world through activism, education, and service engagement.
Welcome back to Star City News. If you're traveling tomorrow, just a heads up, but you might get delayed.
That's right, you might even get to see a plane crash. But don't worry, it won't be a real one as the Lincoln Airport plans to hold a disaster preparedness drill Wednesday at 9 a.m. It's a drill that is required every 3 years by the Federal Aviation Administration. They will simulate a collision between two commercial aircrafts on the runway of the airport. Wednesday's event is designed to allow first responders to train and test systems for a mass casualty incident in a realistic environment.
1,200. Remember that number for a second, because that's the number of lives officials say could be saved after one of the largest blood drives in the state this week. With more details is Star City's Braley Gilbert.
The University of Nebraska-Lincoln holds one of the largest blood drives in the state once a year. Today was the second day of the week-long blood drive at the Student Union. Amanda Knudsen, the donor recruitment manager for the Red Cross, spoke with me today on how the first day of the drive went and what they are expecting for the rest of the week.
We are anticipating to see probably a couple hundred students each and every day. And when it's all said and done, we're looking to come away with potentially about 500 units. And you take that times 3, and that's how many patients we potentially could be helping from this drive alone.
Knudsen said the volunteer groups make a big impact on this annual event.
All sorts of clubs and groups that come in and volunteer their time, not only helping assist the day of for the blood drive, but also help donate and really roll up their sleeve and save up to 3 lives with their one donation.
Sydney Lovegrove has been volunteering with the Red Cross for 7 years. She is currently a junior at the university and takes part in the Red Cross Club.
I like to donate just because I can, and a girl in my sorority she gets blood transfusions, so that's kind of impacted me a little bit. The homecoming blood drive is actually our biggest one, and it's one of the biggest in the Midwest. So at the end of this week, we hope to collect enough blood to save 1,200 lives.
The drive will continue until the 27th. It takes place between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on the second floor of the Union. To register, go to www.ncbb.org. Reporting for Star City News, I'm Braley Gilbert.
President Trump's Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh remains on the hot seat amid sexual assault accusations. Kavanaugh responded to those allegations in an interview on Monday night.
Nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh denied allegations of sexual assault against him in an interview with Fox News Monday night, a move UNL political science professor Dr. Kevin Smith says has never been seen before.
You know, the sight of a nominee to the United States Supreme Court essentially going on television to make the case for the nomination is really an unprecedented thing.
The accusations made by Dr. Christine Blasey Ford and Deborah Ramirez have grinded Kavanaugh's nomination to a halt. They claim Kavanaugh sexually assaulted them in high school and college. Monday night, Kavanaugh refuted those claims.
I've never sexually assaulted anyone, not in high school, not ever. I've always treated women with dignity and respect.
Kavanaugh's words were not convincing to some. New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand told CNN she supports Ford and Ramirez.
I've heard from both sides, and I believe Dr. Blasey Ford and I believe Ms. Ramirez. Both of their stories are credible, unlike his, where he wouldn't actually answer the question or say why he wouldn't be interviewed by the FBI.
The man who nominated Kavanaugh, President Donald Trump, continues in his unwavering support of his choice for the Supreme Court. He tweeted after the interview and blamed the Democrats for trying to, quote, destroy Kavanaugh. A hearing is set for Thursday in which both Kavanaugh and Ford will testify about the matter. Kavanaugh says he hopes he's treated justly.
All I'm asking for is fairness.
For Star City News, I'm Alec Chisholm.
I'm humbled by their confidence. I'm proud to call.
Well, it was a weekend full of mixed results for Nebraska sports as some found success while others continued to struggle.
That's right. Here's Grace Harmon with an early look at sports. Grace?
Well, you definitely said it, Aaron. It really was a mixed weekend of results for Husker Athletics. Today we'll look at the volleyball team and see how they fared against two talented Michigan opponents. We'll also give you an update on where the football team is at in the midst of Big Ten play. And if Husker Athletics aren't quite enough to get you excited, we'll also tell you about the comeback that fell short in the NFL. All that and more coming up soon on Star City News Sports.
All right, thanks, Grace. 81-year-old Bill Cosby, famously known for starring in The Cosby Show, was sentenced today to no less than 3 years, but no more than 10 years in Pennsylvania State Prison. This sentence comes after the actor was convicted of 3 aggravated sexual assault offenses back in April for drugging and assaults on Andrea Constan at his home in 2004. Since then, around 60 women have come forward against Cosby. Throughout the trial, Cosby's defense team argued that he is no longer a threat to anyone because of his age and deteriorating health. However, Judge Stephen O'Neill ruled that he will be labeled as, quote, a sexually violent predator, which means he must undergo lifetime counseling and report quarterly to authorities. His name will appear on the sex offender registry sent to neighbors, schools, and victims. Cosby is the first celebrity to be convicted in the #MeToo era, a movement against sexual harassment and assault that went viral in October 2017.
On Saturday, the fall season officially began, and we are feeling that weather with the cool temps. Abby, what should we expect tonight and throughout the rest of the week?
Thanks, Aaron. Right now it is cloudy and 65 degrees outside. There is only a 10% chance of rain tonight, and the sun will be back out tomorrow. Stay tuned for your weather weekly forecast.
Thanks, Abby. Still to come on Star City News.
We'll take a look at Lincoln's newest sporting goods store set to open on Thursday.
But first, we'll have your full weather report with Abby Stonehawker on the other side of this break.
You're watching Star City News.
We understand. Sometimes you need to stay late on campus. We also understand crime rates are higher at night. That's why UNL is taking care of their students by offering the Huskers Safe Walk. It's a free walk-in escort service that can be requested at any time while on campus by calling 402-472-2222. Call 402-472-2222 if you feel unsafe or would like to request a Huskers Safe Walk.
Libraries are more than just books. The Bennett Martin Public Library is a place for the whole community to take a break and read, or use technology. It's especially a place for our children to play, learn, and read. We offer spaces that help children learn to read and then love to read. Family story times and summer reading programs help establish the reading habit. Please support libraries as they help children grow into lifelong readers and learners. For more information, please visit lincolnlibraries.org.
Located in room 340 of the Nebraska Union, the UNL Women's Center provides a welcoming space full of resources. Their dedicated staff are here to help. Open to all genders, they offer various programs, including free confidential counseling available to UNL students, faculty, and staff. Take advantage of their resources, get involved as a volunteer, or just stop by to check things out. The Women's Center, at the intersection of gender and your life.
The Capital Humane Society's Pylock Pet Adoption Center, where you can find your next baby girl, your next Aaron, or your next furry animal companion. Each adoption comes with spaying or neutering, microchip registration, and a health exam that is included in adoption fees. So stop by the Capital Humane Society's Pylock Pet Adoption Center, located at 70th and Highway 2, to find your next furry friend.
Today we have been looking at cooler temps with a high of 67, but the current temperature is 65 and it will cool down even more over the next couple of hours. We are looking at mid-50s for tonight. Now for that 5-day forecast, this morning we saw some rain, but that won't be the case for tomorrow. The sun will be back out with a high of 71. Thursday it will be partly cloudy, but it will heat up a little bit. For Friday, expect some weather like today, chances of rain in the morning with a high of 60 degrees. And for game day, it is partly cloudy, but you might want to bring a jacket before heading to Memorial Stadium. The high will be 57. Taking a look at the rest of the week, on Sunday, expect some clouds in the sky with a high of 67 degrees and a high of 75 on Monday. So guys, we're looking at these cool weathers, and I officially think that it is pumpkin spice latte season.
Oh, it is definitely pumpkin spice latte season. I had a pumpkin spice frap this morning on my way here, so definitely for sure.
Is it really pumpkin spice latte season if rain is still falling from the sky, not leaves, though?
I think it's always pumpkin spice latte
I was just about to say that.
Okay, I can't argue with that. All right, thanks, Abby. Coming up next, we'll send it over to Grace Harmon for Star City Sports.
For over 28 years, the Lincoln Children's Museum has been creating playtime for thousands of kids and their families. Children can create, discover, and learn through the power of play. The Lincoln Children's Museum also offers several programs and camps throughout the year. Located in the heart of downtown on P Street. Come have fun at the Lincoln Children's Museum.
Thousands of Nebraskans face homelessness every year. The most requested items at homeless shelters are socks. But a group of Lincoln skateboarders are working to change that. Skate for Change is a program dedicated to taking action by combining skateboarding and outreach. Through Skate for Change, young skaters have the opportunity to give back to their community. Whether it's cleaning parks or delivering socks and hygiene kits to the homeless, Skate for Change is here to empower individuals to become positive influences. Join the cause at skateforchange.org.
Located in room 340 of the Nebraska Union, the UNL Women's Center provides a welcoming space full of resources. Their dedicated staff are here to help. Open to all genders, they offer various programs, including free confidential counseling available to UNL students, faculty, and staff. Take advantage of their resources, get involved as a volunteer, or just stop by to check things out. The Women's Center, at the intersection of gender and your life.
Located at Henslick Hall is UNL's Pixel Lab. At the Pixel Lab, UNL students and faculty can take advantage of professional-grade print services. For major projects, normal printers simply will not do. They lack the sizes, materials, and resources the Pixel Lab can provide. Simply save your project as a PDF and head over to Henslick Hall. You're important, and so is your work. Open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 o'clock, the Pixel Lab team is staffed with helpful employees ready to assist you. For your next project, be sure to stop by the Pixel Lab.
Following a weekend of mixed results, Big Ten Conference play is in full swing after both the football and volleyball teams opened with matchups against the Wolverines. Starting in Ann Arbor, Scott Frost and company took another blow to the record with a 56-10 loss at the hands of Michigan. The Huskers went down early and couldn't get back up. Michigan laid on the heat, compiling more points than Nebraska did yards in the first half. The Huskers were stopped early and often by Michigan's defensive line with 14 tackles for loss on the day. Head coach Scott Frost said his young team couldn't stack up to Michigan's experience, but how he would not let that hold them back.
We're going to fight right now, and the guys we got are good enough to be a really good team if we put it all together.
Now, sitting at 0-3 on the season, the Huskers will host Purdue for its annual homecoming game on Saturday. Sitting at 1-3, the Boilermakers have also had a slow start to the season, but are coming off a 30-13 win over number 23 ranked Boston College. On Monday, players said that they're going to continue moving forward into Purdue.
Just got to move on. We got to focus on this week and Purdue team coming in. That's really good. So, you can't take those things for granted. We've taken a little things for granted earlier in this year, but, again, you just got to move forward and try to go 1-0 this week.
To know that we can get this done, we're hitting the reset button. We still have plenty of season left, to kind of prove ourselves.
The contest against Purdue kicks off at 2:30 p.m. and will be broadcast on the Big Ten Network. Though the Huskers showed up on the field, on the court, it was a completely different story. John Cook's team showed the state of Michigan who's boss over the weekend as they rolled over Michigan and Michigan State to start off 2-0 in Big Ten Conference play. The Huskers dominated the previously number 18 Wolverines in 3 sets on Friday night before going on to take down Michigan State in 4 sets on Sunday. On Monday, head coach John Cook said he was pleased with his team's performance.
What I'm most pleased about is that I see our team working on the things we're working on, and I see them trying to implement it in the matches. So that's a really good sign. It's going to pay off for us down the road.
The Huskers now head into 2 road contests this week, playing at Northwestern on Friday night and Illinois on Saturday. The Wildcats are sitting at 10-4 on the season, but are 0-2 in conference play, losing to Indiana and Purdue over the weekend. The Huskers' second opponent in Illinois could present a little more trouble. The Fighting Illini are undefeated this season, with its most recent wins coming against Purdue and Indiana. Both of those contests begin at 7 p.m. Central Time. Is it basketball season already? The Husker men's basketball team began practice today in preparation for the 2018-2019 season. Last year, Nebraska's successful campaign ended in a not-so-successful fashion, with the Huskers losing twice in the Big Ten tournament and missing out on a berth to the NCAA tournament. The Huskers are returning talented players in Isaiah Roby, Isaac Copeland, and James Palmer Jr. as the trio decided to return for their junior and senior seasons, foregoing the 2018 NBA draft. The first chance for fans to see the Huskers in action will be on November 6th against Mississippi Valley State at the Pinnacle Bank Arena. Well, Monday Night Football is in full swing, and last night's matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers gave us plenty of excitement. In the first half, it was all Steelers. Roethlisberger was on fire, completing 30 of 38 passes for 353 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Steelers took a 30-10 lead heading into the half, but the Buccaneers would not be counted out. Led by Ryan Fitzmagic, Tampa Bay mounted a comeback. Fitzpatrick threw for 3 touchdowns in the game, compiling 411 yards. But the Buccaneers couldn't quite get it done, and the Steelers snuck out their first win of the year and moved to 1-1-1 on the season. Well, guys, the cat is back. It has been 5 years since Tiger Woods last won a golf tournament, but on Sunday, the 3-time U.S. Open champion ended that drought when he shot 11 under par to clinch the tournament title. This would become his 80th win, moving him one step closer to all-time tour victories leader Sam Snead, who has 82 wins.
I've explained throughout the year that I just didn't know whether, when this would ever happen again, or I just didn't know if I could piece together a golf swing, but somehow I've been able to do that, and here we are.
Well, guys, that's all we have for you today in Star City News Sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Grace. Whether you like him or not, that Tiger Woods win will go down in sports history. We'll be right back after this on Star City News.
For over 28 years, the Lincoln Children's Museum has been creating playtime for thousands of kids and their families. Children can create, discover, and learn through the power of play. The Lincoln Children's Museum also offers several programs and camps throughout the year. Located in the heart of downtown on P Street. Come have fun at the Lincoln Children's Museum.
Thousands of Nebraskans face homelessness every year. The most requested items at homeless shelters are socks. But a group of Lincoln skateboarders are working to change that. Skate for Change is a program dedicated to taking action by combining skateboarding and outreach. Through Skate for Change, young skaters have the opportunity to give back to their community. Whether it's cleaning parks or delivering socks and hygiene kits to the homeless, Skate for Change is here to empower individuals to become positive influences. Join the cause at skateforchange.org.
Welcome back to Star City News. Here's some exciting news for South Lincoln. The new Shields is set to open up at 5 p.m. Thursday, September 27th. This store is slightly different from the last with plenty of new attractions. Inside you will find a 45-foot tall Ferris wheel, which will cost $1 per ride and will run continuously during store hours. You'll find also a 16,000-gallon fish tank, arcade games, a restaurant, and a candy store. On the second floor stands Little Red, made up of 127,000 Legos. We're told that the store's shelves are continuing to fill in preparation for the crowd expected to arrive on Thursday.
With one last look at our weather, here's Abby Stonehawker. Abby, it's rather cloudy outside. What's the rest of the week looking like?
Tonight is going to cool down to the mid-50s, but taking one last look at the rest of the week, Wednesday and Thursday, keep your windows down because it will be sunny and in the 70s. Friday, it will cool down again. And for all the Husker fans out there, be prepared for rain. There is a 30% chance. That's all for weekly weather.
All right, thanks, Abby. That'll do it for this episode of Star City News.
Make sure you join us on Tuesday for our next installment. Until then, I'm Erin Hunter.
And I'm Ellie Chisholm. Thanks for watching, and good night.